speaking of dopes, let's talk about this idiot general manager for the Green Bay Packers and what he's doing with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my God, I know.
Because
why is he shitting on him? What's going on?
it's not that he's shitting on him. The guy is just everybody knows the story. You know, instead of they haven't drafted like a weapon for the guy basically his whole career. I know Devontae Adams is great. He wasn't a first round pick.
No, he was second round.
Yeah, and then then last year, the GM, they trade up in the draft when they're like ready to contend for a Super Bowl, trade up in the draft to draft the quarterback, and not like the next Patrick Mahomes. It's Jordan Love out of Nevada.
Well, I mean,
like,
we don't know how good he is. I mean, I don't want to.
I got an idea that he's not as good as Aaron Rodgers. Okay, yeah. I'm going out on that limb right here.
Yeah,
I'm so far out on that limb, you could call me Bob Baffert, pretending like God, I didn't cheat.
What do you think's going on behind the scenes over there in Green Bay?
I'll tell you what's going on. Right now, they know that they cannot afford to lose Aaron Rodgers because they will be legitimately irrelevant. First of all, no one understands how lucky they were to go from Brett Favre, all-time great, to Aaron Rodgers. That just doesn't happen. Yeah. That doesn't happen in franchises. Like, look, the Jets are still looking for a quarterback since Joe Namath. So the fact that
Can you imagine?
So listen, so the fact that they went from one quarterback of all-time great to another is unprecedented. So now, you have a short window to win. Now, the fact that this guy's only been to one Super Bowl in his career is really, it's almost impossible for us how good he is. They should have been to more. And a lot of that has got to be attributed to, the management. And well,
I mean, Matt McCarthy was an asshole too. I mean,
Mike McCarthy. But that's not even it, though. He's not the one picking the players, McCarthy. And the thing with them is, they don't have an owner, the Green Bay Packers. And I think that could hurt them. Like, they're owned by people buy individual stocks of the Packers. They don't have an owner like a John Mara or something like that. So there's no one to answer to. So now, basically, Aaron Rodgers was really pissed that they got the quarterback. He comes in, has an MVP season, and then the guy's so vindictive. He waits till the day before the draft to put out the story.
Well, I mean, he was also pissed about them going for the field goal last year. I mean,
but listen, he waited on purpose. Listen, if you don't think that was calculated the day before the draft, you're out of
it was. Of course it was.
And he did it on purpose. And it was genius. And what he did was he made them look so bad. The only thing is, Aaron Rodgers, I don't think Aaron Rodgers really wants to leave because he hasn't came out and demanded a trade.
Yeah, no. I don't think he wants to leave either. I think he just wants them to choose him and fire the GM because apparently him and the GM just don't see eye to eye. Rodgers wants a little bit of a hand in picking the guys that, that he gets.
Yeah, he wants
like
a
Brady.
Brady.
He hasn't picked a weapon in years.
Yeah, I have a question for you with that. So, a bet, ready? So the Jets, I remember last season or the season before had that. Who was the guy on defense who was having mad issues, and then he was like, "Fucking, I'm out of here."
Adams.
So
Adams.
When I heard that, I was like, the Jets are gonna be trash. There's locker room drama going on. Everybody's like, the Jets are gonna be great. Darnold, I'm like, yo, there's some locker room bullshit going on right now. They're not gonna go over 500. And sure enough, they fucking tanked. Now, do you think that Green Bay, with all this locker room bullshit, could be a really, really bad team in the season?
Well, listen. Here's the thing. I'll tell you one thing with Green Bay. If you think Aaron Rodgers is going to get traded, you would bet the farm on the under. The only problem is, I think when push comes to shove, he's going to play, and they're going to be their usual 10-11 win self. Because
I mean, another thing too,
he's not trying to be proactive, but he's not just giving away like $30 million and not playing football. And they're not just going to trade him away for pennies on the dollar. That would be stupid as well. He's on the contract.
But like you were just alluding to how you would bet the under of Green Bay if that's what you thought.
Yep.
But you could also do the reverse of that and try to dig, and try to guess where he's going to go. And right now, I would say the Broncos are the lead candidate to try to get him. So you could also bet the Broncos over as well, while it's really low.
Listen, that's a very good point. If you think that's actually going to happen, I do think that most likely, first of all, they're not going to trade him in the NFC. Almost definitely not. If they do trade him, he's going to the Broncos or the Raiders. Those are the only two teams that are like in the market for him. Really,
yeah, agreed.
You know, no one else is going to trade for him. So yeah, you're right. You know, that's the Broncos would be a sneaky bet if you really thought he was going there.
Yeah, I mean, look, it would, like I said, it's very proactive.
It is. I just don't think myself. I just think when push comes to shove, he's going to be in Green Bay and they're going to give it another go, at least for this year. But
do you think that when he saw Brady, who looks like a career Patriot, you know, oh, he's going to finish. He's won so many Super Bowls. He's going to finish out that year. He's going to finish out his career there, like, and right off into the sunset. And then he sees Tom Brady say, wait a minute, fuck it. I'm going to go to Tampa Bay. And not only that, I'm going to be successful with it. So maybe
and he's going to take everyone he wants with him.
Yeah, okay. And maybe Aaron Rodgers is saying, you know what? I don't have to finish my career in Green Bay. I could go wherever I want. And matter of fact, if you're going to fuck with me, I'm going to fuck with you.
No, he doesn't. Listen, there's two things here, okay? One, like Ted just said, he's not Tom Brady, okay? He never will be Tom Brady, never could be Tom Brady. I don't care about his stats, nothing. Aaron Rodgers has come up small in big spots more often than not. And I'll tell you, he's the type of guy that when the going is good, he's pouring it on and he's great. But you hit him a little bit and you fluster him and then he starts pointing fingers. And it seems to me that, you know, when you get him rattled, he just folds up. And Tom Brady's the type of guy that like galvanizes the locker room. And Aaron Rodgers just comes across as so douchey. Like I think anybody that looks at him would think that he's just a douche. And some people are douches. And I don't think he has any problem with leaving Green Bay. I just think that he's so gifted physically, but being a quarterback, you got to be physically gifted, but the intangibles, the stuff that you can't see, is what makes a quarterback great. And that's why it's so hard to draft the right one, because you don't know if they have it or not. You got to really have an eye for that to get inside.
You got to size the guy up. It's very, you know, it takes a special scout to be able to pick out the right one.
It does.
I can tell you who isn't the right one. Trey Lance. Okay, I can't even get into it. First off, did you see how his rookie of the year numbers dropped from 500 to 900?
Yes, because they know he's not going to play. Okay, so
I mean, come on.
So anybody that bet him at plus 500, I mean, that's just insane. I mean, look, I do think he's going to play at some point in the year because odds are Garoppolo gets hurt, or they're just going to put him in. Yeah, but this guy is coming from Division I AA. In high school, he only threw like 180 passes total in his whole life.
Really?
So the guy has no experience really playing quarterback. I'll tell you what he was good at, though. He was good at running over like the future accountants and lawyers of the world that went, you know, to the scrub teams that North Dakota State was playing. He could run those guys over. You know, Johnny from Accounts Payable, Trey Lance dominated. But you know, when you get him up against these real linebackers, it's going to be interesting to see what he does.
You hit that right on the head, because when you look at his highlight film, the thing that jumps out on you is the running and the way he lowers the shoulder and runs over guys. And that just doesn't translate to the NFL level. I mean, if you do that enough times, you're going to get hurt. You know, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Look, I'll say one thing before you continue. Look, the guy looks good on paper, but let me tell you something. Anybody's going to look good throwing against air, okay?
Yep.
And if you don't look good throwing against air, I mean, there's really something wrong with you, like, okay?
Yeah.
So while I think he has a lot of talent, here's what I believe. I think Kyle Shanahan wanted to take Mac Jones. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I was saying this during the college football season. I'm like, Mac Jones is going to be great. I said this. And you could just tell the guy, he has the intangibles needed. He's not the most physically gifted, doesn't have the best arm, but he has a lot of the intangibles that you want coming, you know, out of a quarterback. And I felt like they almost like succumbed to the pressure, like, oh, we can't take Mac Jones. He's not what a quarterback looks like now. But I think Mac Jones is going to quietly surprise people. And I think he did land in a good spot with New England.
Yeah, because Belichick and McDaniels will devise a plan to just, you know, get the ball out of his hands quickly. Where, you know, Trey Lance and Shanahan, I just don't like it at all. I really don't. I don't think it's a good fit. I just don't.
Yeah.
Something tells me going up against NFL schemes is going to be a little different than playing, like South Dakota State. That's and it's not to say that a quarterback can't come out of 1AA. We have examples of that in the past. Carson Wentz, has had a pretty good career, even though he struggled a little bit last years. Steve McNair was really the first one out of Alcorn State. He was like, nobody knew who he was, and he came on and he had a phenomenal career. So let's not say that the guy has no chance. I would just say out of all the guys that they're projecting, he has the biggest chance to bust, because I think Zach Wilson is going to be very exciting. I like him. I like his swagger and the way that he carries himself. Trevor Lawrence, he's going to be good. So is Fields. They've been good their whole lives. Yeah. And you got, Trey Lance is a real wild card, and it's very risky what they did.
I worry about Mac Jones's mobility. That's the only thing. I like everything that you said about him. Everything's correct. But his mobility is just, the league is trending toward needing somebody that can just move a little bit. I question if he can. But if he can, even a little bit, and like I said, Belichick will get the ball out of his hands quickly, just like he did with Brady.
Listen, ideally, you want your quarterback to be able to extend plays when the play breaks down, because right now the guys are so fast. It's very rare that a quarterback can just drop. Like the days of the 7-step drop where the quarterback drops back, plants in the pocket, and has that kind of time, you just don't have that anymore. Yeah. So, you need to be a little more athletic. I do agree. And that is the question on him. That's the only thing stopping him really from having it all. And that's why, Trevor Lawrence is so good, because he does have that size and that mobility, but he doesn't really have the accuracy. That's one thing that me and Ted have both noticed. Trevor Lawrence missed a lot of passes. Now, I'm not saying he's not great, because we've liked him. Obviously we bet Trevor Lawrence as a freshman to beat Alabama. We both made a lot of money on that. Yeah. We were ahead of the curve on him.
There you go.
So, made about 11 grand total, and it was all said and done.
Yes. So we know how good he is, but all the quarterbacks have questions about them. So, it's a very tricky situation as far as, who's going to be the best one out of them. That's why, like we said, I feel like Zach Wilson for Rookie of the Year has a lot of value. I got him at plus 1,000. Him and Lawrence are the only two guaranteed to start from day one.
That's the biggest thing.
And that's where I would go if I'm looking to make a bet on something like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when it's all said and done, I do believe Lawrence is probably going to get it. But you can already see the value in your bet that you made when it went down from 1,000 to 700 already. So,
yes,
it's not a bad guy to have, because if Lawrence, let's just say something happens with Lawrence, anything, Wilson has
or he gets hurt,
yeah,
or they put in Tim Tebow.